Good morning YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're in a Mark III Focus RS. Now this is not my first RS experience. Matt, who owns this, has had a Mark I before, and that thing was a little banshee. It was modified, hybrid turbo, manifold. I can't even recall the spec list, it was just huge, but the thing was bonkers. And now the problem with that car was always that it was front wheel drive, so you just kept upping the power and you just ended up with a torque steer monster. Even with the limited slip differential, it was an absolute handful. I can remember coming down a dual carriageway, planting it in second, and ended up changing between 2 or 3 lanes just trying to keep it in a straight line. So things have changed since this generation of RS. Now the Mark II I haven't driven, but it's also front wheel drive. Obviously has the 2.5 litre engine here from the Volvo sort of derived engine. Now with this car you've still got obviously usability, you've got 4-wheel drive, so not only is it good for putting the power down, but it's brilliant if you do want to use it all year, weather, snow, rain. It's absolutely perfect. So today we'll see what it's all about. So in the cabin we've got the Recaro CS seats, which are my favourite seat of all time. If you've watched any of my video, I think they're brilliant as an all-round seat for performance and comfort. The big problem with them in the RS is they are so high. I wouldn't be able to get a crash helmet on in here. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like I say, I'm 6'2", so I'm tall, but I'm not massive. And I think on track I'll be scuffing my head on the roofline and a lot. Now there is a solution that Matt's looked into, which is the lower seat frame mounts, and essentially they'll lower the seat either 30mm or 50mm. So it's quite a big difference, to be fair, which if I was to buy one of these, I think it'd be the first thing I'll be doing, because it is, I feel like I'm driving the van rather than their RS range. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, from what we looked at online, you can spec it with the standard seats, because obviously these are optional, and the standard seats are height adjustable, so they can be lower. A lot like the Ford stuff, it's all pretty similar in terms of interior. You've got all your boost gauges, your oil pressure and everything up there, which is a nice touch. It's more of a petrol heads car over the ST that I've taken out previously. Now on the road, the suspension is hard, like really hard, and we're in the soft mode now, and I'll switch it over in a second, but I can already feel on these pretty well laid roads that this is pretty stiff. I don't think I'd be happy daily in this every day. It reminds me of modified suspension, like coilovers, rather than actual stock suspension, but it is adjustable. The problem is it only goes firmer. Now also with this, let's say with the all-wheel drive, it is good fun. It really is good fun to drive, and there's so much power and torque from that 2.3 litre EcoBoost. Now from what we looked at, you're going to be around 350 horsepower and about 350 foot-pounds of torque, so there's plenty to go there. Like all the RS range, obviously they do stand out. They've got the nice curves on them, and this in the colour as well just looks absolutely fantastic. It's also got the matching calipers that sort of really stand out against the optional wheels. Now if I was going to spec one, it would be to this sort of standard, because it does feel and look so much more than, say, the grey colour that I've seen on the road, because it looks so standard in that colour. But it, like I say, really nice place to be in the cabin. If the seat height was lower, it'd be much better. Really would make a massive difference. brake wise, you've got the monster calipers on the front, looks pretty standard on the rear, and it does stop really well. I say, being out and in today on some of these roads, unfortunately they've been a bit busy, it really does anchor up. There's no issues there at all with the braking power standard. Whether you get on track, because obviously with it being a bigger, heavier car, you might find that they let go a little bit and get the fade, but driving today on these country roads, it's been absolutely awesome. So we get a bit of a gap in this Mexican highway. Second gear, 2000 RPM, foot down, a little bit of lag. Oh, all the way. Yeah, it goes well, really well. You can really feel the torque kick in. Not laggy at all by then in second gear. By the time I got to sort of 2500, 3000 RPM, the thing was really starting to make ground then. So you can feel the torque kick in early. It's obviously quite a small turbo. And with, like all things with the Thorn things, guys love to upgrade these. It's something I've learned over the years with the Ford owners. They're probably the best at modifying stuff. But from what we looked at with this, you can't go crazy with a stock engine, unfortunately. It doesn't seem to be a 500 horsepower block potential there. If you did want to go down that route, it's going to be forged internals, unfortunately. But if you just wanted something that's a good A to B blaster, especially countryside wise, if you've got sort of muddy or wet roads, it's going to be great with the all-wheel drive system for that. So we've got the driving mode button down here, so we're in the standard one at the moment. Let's go sport, race, and then you've got drift mode as well. So it's not my car, I'm not going to be playing out in drift mode in it today. I don't want to tempt fate, especially on the road. But we've put it now in the sport mode, and straight away again back to that suspension. Jesus Christ, is it hard, really hard. You probably can't see it too well on the camera, but it is stiff, really stiff. But again, you can individually change these settings, I believe. So if you wanted to have some of the other benefits of the sport mode and then turn the suspension back to soft, it's probably going to be worth doing, because for our roads this is way too much. I think we'll put that back into comfort. Let's have a look what first gear's on. Yeah, it's fast. It's a quick car. It's a torque as well. It just absolutely takes off. So I hope you enjoyed the little mini review of the Focus RS. I say not too much video, but overall, cool little car. I don't think for me it'd be one to own, but then again, I do seem to like stuff modified. But we'll see how Matt gets on with it over the next couple of months. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching.